سلام بچه خوش اومدید and welcome to the White Whale stream. Welcome to this Monday stream of Las Plumas de Simur. My name is Plumas and I am your host for the... Oh my god, butcher. I would not qualify myself as a superstitious peep, yet, if I am to believe in curses, I definitely believe in this one. Believe me, please, I'm not making this up, I wish. I have witnesses, and I can prove that this stream was this close of being cancelled. It was just like this, and I guess slightly bit of an inch close to not happen. So definitely there's some witchcraft slash black magic slash some cursing going around and about this channel. Yet here we are. Salam, khosh umadid, welcome. Yes, today we kill the white whale because I said this to Bob before. It doesn't matter if I go to bed at like ridiculous o'clock in the night. This is happening. I am doing this today. So welcome to all the new people, welcome to all the all usual people, and a special shout out to my patrons, because I think this stream deserves like many of them, but it just deserves an introduction, which is like a little bit, we need to go a little bit back in time. See, I've mentioned this before. If you support me in Patreon, which of course I invite you to do because you help me greatly and you patrons are the reason I can be here today. If you support me on Patreon, there's a choice you can make about the topics that I would bring in Cumin streams. And these topic about pets in Mesopotamia, I can finally say it, for crying out loud. It's been so long. It's been too long. It was gonna kill me. So this stream about pets in Mesopotamia was offered for the first time. I want to remember properly. It was either May or June this year, 2021. And for some reasons and circumstances, it never was able to happen. It couldn't happen. Why? Because it was cursed. And I had some issues today, some personal issues. Do not worry, do not fret. Everything's perfectly okay. Just life happens. But it was almost, I was this close to cancel this stream, but I said like, no, I ought to have faith. I need to do this finally, because it just grew up so much. It escalated so much in my head that I started to believe that this stream was probably cursed. And I'm not gonna lie, today's afternoon and the rest of the evening was like kind of a prophecy, like a prophetic thing. Is it like, it's not happening, but it is. Here we are. And yes, today we are killing the white whale. Today we are talking about pets, if there were any in Mesopotamia. So what do you think, Bachar? Should we... Oh, by the way, if you type command hello, you can say hello in Persian, which is salam. That's how I greet you all when you come here to my channel. So yeah, just gonna take a sip of my tea and then we are gonna cheer to, I don't know, what should we cheer to? To this stream that is finally happening? Oh my god. This is just a plain black tea because it's everything my soul needs at the minute. So yeah, without further ado, today is the day. We are doing it. We are hunting down the white whale. I'm bringing it down as today. But today, I want to say that marks the beginning of a new era, an era in which this hell of a topic will be finally done, and I will be able to look at my priestess in the eye again. I can already feel the breath of life infusing my lungs again. God, is this relief? I think I'm experimenting a really close feeling to that I had when submitting my my thesis. So yeah, it's finally happening. Yes, of course it is. Cheers to this finally happening. Naim June, merci Azizam. It is happening. I cannot believe it, yet here we are. So, Yeah, before starting the stream, of course, thanks to my patrons for their patience. Thanks particularly to Sacerdotisa N, because she is actually the one who's been the most patient with me. And I know she requested this for a really long time. And you can't believe I'm doing this as a personal favor towards her, because she's supported me in absolutely every single way. And she's unconditional. She's the definition of an unconditional patron. And I had to do this for her. So I'm very glad I'm doing this, because I'm going to be able to talk to her again without these instigating feeling of depth that I had. I was hosted in my chest. Yet, yeah. Oh, and before we continue the stream, shout out to 3 people that had helped me. The nerve, los nervios. Shout out to 3 people that have helped me greatly with the stream. First of all, Dr. Moody Al-Rashid. Second, Dr. Andrea Vilela. And a fellow PhD student who is Patri Bo. So thank you so much. 3 amazing women that have helped me put together this stream. Yeah, so I believe it's time to start. And for that, I want to start with one of my favorite images, because of course, you know what we come here for, which is, well, I am such a big dog person. I think you already know. But yes, today we're talking about pets. Yeah, and well, not actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's start. Finally, today we are talking about pets in ancient Mesopotamia, because us, animal lovers, have existed since the dawn of time, and many, many cultures. Oh, thank you so much for that, Pichu. Hi, how are you? Didn't see you there. Thank you. That is very sweet of you. So as I was saying, many cultures have looked for comfort, for the comfort, companionship, and practical symbiosis that derives from having an animal companion. First, because this is important for our correct approach, we need to start by delimiting time and space. When given title to this stream, and this is something I've mentioned before when covering similar topics, I shoot at my own foot, since I am labeling something in Mesopotamia, and that says little to nothing. Mesopotamia entails a long period of time, 3 millennia at least, and we know that all those years saw the coming and going of many, many different cultures. Mesopotamia. Thank you, Pichu. That's the reason you're the captain of the team, Punik. I really like you. You is here to remind us all. Thank you for that. I think so. As I was saying, this label, this umbrella, this giant umbrella, and what Mesopotamia is covered. It is a lot of different cultures living under its shade. The big titans tend to be Sumer, Akkad, Babylonia, and Assyria. Yet we find enough coincidences to pack them all, to pack them all in the same bag and present any product under the label of Mesopotamia to you. Guilty as charged here. This is why I say we tend to do so. What does this long self-aware introduction mean? It means that I'm sorry because I stay conscious of how general the lines of this stream will be. The information I collected belongs to a variety of time periods, empires, and cultural hubs, so please bear with very kindly. This is also a reminder that we are addressing something much bigger and nuanced when we say Mesopotamia. But now, introduction is made, so let's jump right into it. Since we will be talking about pets, I felt this must be by force our first stop for what is it we consider a pet? What is the difference between a pet and any other domesticated animal? Here and now we define the limits. How am I? I am relieved, Serapis. I am quite relieved because this stream is finally bloody happening, because this was close not to happen, but it is happening. And it is, yeah, oh God. You don't eat them. That's actually it's actually a good answer to the question. I am trying to find an image I wanted to show you, but I don't know if I have it here. Let me look for it very quickly. No, I can't. All right, we need to stick with this one because I can't show it to you. Ori, hello, like except during sieges. That's actually a good answer too. So animals were deeply connected to people's daily life in ancient Near East. The domestication of different species defined the ways cultures and societies developed. Yet, not all those domesticated animals are what we will be considering pets. First, there is a matter of practicality. Sure, you can benefit from a dog or a cat, and undoubtedly, this was the first reasons to let wild animals get near you in the first place. And even though pets like cows and goats do exist, where and are possible to have, we will have to discard cattle for this one. The flocks that traveled all over Mesopotamia and were kept for subsistence reasons do not classify as pets today, I am afraid. And do not be mad, I am the first one who is sad to leave outside Ibexes and Team Cow because I belong to Team Cow as well. But that only means we can exclusively speak about them in coming streams that hopefully will not be cursed. So then, when approaching this matter, this subject of pets in Mesopotamia, we had to look at the language and the lexicon. And after consulting with the oracle of wise women, the conclusion was that there's not a word for pet as we understand it in modern times. There's not the notion of an animal companion that could be equated to what we understand as a pet. For example, dogs and cats appear listed alongside other wild animals. In fact, in Sumerian, the word for dog, where is it? Here we have it. The word for dog actually starts a lot of other wild animals' names. Ur is the word for dog, and then we have urbarra, which is wolf, as in is a dog that lives outside. Then we have so many. I just left them. Sorry, this lecture, you know how it works. I left them, all of them here, so you can have a look at it. But this is basically what I mean. Like, the word for dog is also the component of the name of many other wild animals, and I repeat myself, they appear listed among wild animals. So, hello, Christian. Oh, I see. What language is that? This is Sumerian. This is a Sumerian language. So, see, when looking at all the literary evidence that we have kept, as far as the notion of companion animal is concerned, doesn't seem like there is a word, and therefore cannot be applied to Mesopotamia. The dog and the cat are among the wild animals in the lexical list, and the dog as a domestic animal that is the subject to an authority of a master is seen much more as a symbol of submission and the evocation of emotional relationships. And this is very strange. There's no connection of emotional of emotions or sentiments towards animals in literature. So ultimately, animals they have more like a utilitarian or prestige function. So therefore, there were pets in Mesopotamia, possibly, given how we establish connections with animals nowadays, although we have not preserved evidence, or at least textual evidence, that the concept pet existed as we conceive it today. That's it, curtain call. We can all go home now. Can you see the curse for 15 minutes of live stream? Of course, I'm kidding. We can still talk about the animals that were companions to humans and how did they understand them. Oh, well, loco, don't worry, we're going there in a minute. So today we are going to be accommodating certain animals as pets for their significance, their behavior around humans, their position in daily lives, and their absolute adorableness. And then we have horses also, because this is my stream and I can do whatever the Frank Sinatra I want. On to the first category of animals. So I'm actually going to leave this one here because, surprise to none, if you have been following me for a while, that means if you are from the original Butcher, you know this. First we have dogs. I confess I'm a big dog person, although I do like practically all animals on the surface of this lovely planet. If you want to know more about dogs, specifically dogs in ancient Mesopotamia, my advice is you follow the amazing Dr. Moody Al-Rashid on Twitter. Mods, if you can just pop her Twitter handle over here, that will be fantastic. Yeah, she will be able to provide great and further info. I spoke with her about some doubts I had, and she was absolutely adorable and approachable, and I look up to that woman so much, like you don't have an idea. So let's start by the beginning, which is actually answering the question that Uloko had, because the importance of the role of dogs starts in mythology. And here we have goddess Gula. She's one of the big fish in the Mesopotamian pantheon because she's the goddess of, among a million things, healing. These mythical dogs accompanying her, where we can't consider them her pets, but actually there would be much more her servants, her guardians, those who carried out her will, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you are familiar with the goddess Lamashtu, but one of the activities she performed was baby snatching. Because some of us like reading, others like knitting, and others like baby snatching. Yeah. Life. So in an incantation preserved against the demoness Lamashtu, the dogs of Gula stand up to her. And I am reading the translation of Dr. Moody. This is the translation she gave herself. We are not just any dog, we are the dogs of Gula, poised to flay your face, tear you back to pieces. And you drop the mic because you're a good dog. That is just amazing, like the importance of these mythical creatures. And also we have preserved, where do I have them? I have so many images of dogs. Are these ones? Yes, these ones my patrons already know about them. These are little statues of real mastiffs that were buried to guard a property from devils and demons. And ritual instructions for making and inscribing them survive on clay tables. We have the instructions on how to turn these little figurines into actual talismans and protective elements. The pack, which is absolutely adorable, was found beneath the palace doorway at Nineveh, which is a major city, if you know a little bit of Mesopotamian history. And each of them is named, we preserved their names, Butcher. Each of them is named after a quality required in a guard dog. And I think that is absolutely amazing because they're adorable and I love this. So if you see the one on the bottom right corner to you, which is the black dog, that one is called Loud is His Bark. And I love it. It sounds like they had plenty of practical uses for dogs too. They did, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this one, the black fella over here, is called Loud is His Bark. And I love it so much. Then hello Elsie. So then we have Bitter of His Foe. Then Don't Think, Bite. Catcher of the Enemy. You know the one at the bottom as well that's more like a reddish color? to it. That one is Catcher of the Enemy, which is an amazing name for a dog. Then we have, it says over here that there's one of them has spots, although I cannot see them, but I believe it. I think is the one, the top, just Evoke, the black one. And that one is called Expeller of Evil. Can you see how amazing is this? Can you see how incredible is that we preserve little statues of dogs with their names that belong to millennia ago in the past? It is mind-blowing for me as a person who enjoys the little things, and all of these as a dog owner and as a dog person just warms my heart so much. Yeah, these ones were made, we believe, around the 7th century before Common Era, sometime between 645 to 635 before Common Era, and currently socks. No. But I like socks. I really like socks for a dog. All the pictures I'm showing, some of them belong to Osama Shukir Mohammed Amin, and that's he is such an amazing photographer, and I do encourage you to follow him on Twitter, because he shares not only his work but his process and how he takes the pictures, and it's absolutely amazing. No, Christian, I said the names already. Bitter is his foe, don't think, bite, loud is his bark. Those are the names. Am I explaining myself properly? Like, are you following? Should I repeat something? Do you want me to go a little bit slower on some parts? Because I can do. Yeah. It's you, the dog, as you reply to me. Oh, there we have. I love this one. I love this one so much. Oh, he's such a good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. So, as you can see, dogs were seen as multifaceted. They had mythological relevance. They were guardians of property and cattle. They were loyal companions. And apparently, they were considered as healers because they accompanied goddess Gula. So these figurines of dogs I've seen, they have been found all over Mesopotamia, under the floor of buildings, under the door, since the door is, the coming and going, the passage of the building is the entrance towards the private space. In the ancient Near East, and this is something that travels to then the Arabic and Persian cultures, the concept of the door as a trespassing and the division between the public and the private space is really important. And if you've been here with me before, I've spoken about these relevance of the door in Mesopotamian mythology. So yeah, the fact that we have these little figurines of dogs buried underneath just the opening, the ark, speaks of their relevance. And they also acted as protectors. They were to ward off evil spirits and noxious creatures, guarding the structure and those inside. Important, not only those inside, the structure. Yet, dogs were frowned upon if they were inside temples, for example. Thank you so much, Sadar Latisa. Could you share the handle of Dr. Moody Al-Rashid? I think it's just Moody, like Moudhy, Moody. Thank you. Hi, Clarita. How are you? You come here in time because I know you are such a big dog person as well. We were speaking about dogs, and yeah, as I was saying, dogs were really frowned upon if they came inside, especially inside spaces considered special, and they were not exactly an animal that were looked forward to be welcomed here. What is that? On southwest of Iran, in the village I grew up, people believed if one is injured by a dog, if a dog cleans the injury with a tongue, it won't be infected. Hello, Unholy Prayer. Oh, that's a very interesting topic. Oh, thank you so much. And that's actually very interesting because we have a lot of thank you, Naim June. That's the handle. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a really common belief in Spain also, and in many other Mediterranean cultures, that if the dog licks the wound, it won't be infected. And I think there's some truth to it. I don't know to what extent, because I'm not a biologist and I definitely not a vet and I am not an animal expert. I'm just an animal lover. So I said before that sometimes in letters, I said how the relationship between the human and the dog was seen as symbolic act of submission to a master. And we have the reflect of that on letters we preserve. So sometimes the servants of Neo-Assyrian kings address themselves as the dogs of the king, indicating loyalty and, as we've been mentioning, submission. There are a couple of letters preserved to King Esarhaddon, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right, and them, his servant, refers to themselves as a loyal, humble dog that's just there to obey his master. So again, we see the dog as a literary figure as well. Of course, where we have the largest number of examples in art is in the Assyrian reliefs of Nineveh. There we can see how dogs were used as hunting aid. Handlers and the dogs would encircle the prey, in this particular case a lion, and they would ensure the animal would not, just not run away. It would not escape, but have them parading in gardens as well, alongside all the properties of the monarch, such as horses, musicians, even the trees was also seen as an act of class. Superiority, status, luxury. I have another picture of the dogs and I want to share them to you. Oh, actually, here we have a dog with his handler, with his caretaker. And we've seen also, I need to show you this one because it's just adorable. This tiny figurine also comes from Sipar and it's been found there. It's just so cute, and I love the tiny ears, and I love the curvy little twirly tail. I love all about him. I want to pet him. And then we have these ones that I'm showing right now have nothing to do with Mesopotamia. They're Bactrian, actually. They come from Central Asia, but they're just too cute. I just had to show them to you because they're adorable. Look at the tiny muscles. Can you see how the wrinkles of the muscle have been marked? This is silver, by the way. This is just, I know, they're chubby and they're amazing and I love them. And you can see they have collars on them. And also the collar is a symbol of submission since someone had to put it on to you, sorry. I love them. I just really like them. Where was I? Oh yeah, the doggies. The doggies in Assyrian palaces. Sorry, my bad. So we're gonna talk. As I mentioned here, you can see how dogs were not just used for hunting purposes, but also they were used to parade and to show status. We will talk about that in a little while. And most of the dogs, I mentioned this already. I go ahead of myself. Most of the dogs depicted in art share a particularity. Can you tell me what it is? Have you noticed? The hint is that I've mentioned it already. I shouldn't have, but I did. So all of the dogs that I've shown you have something in common. What is it? Have you seen it? Take a sip of the tea as you answer. Don't worry, take your time. We're not in a hurry. They have more muscles than me. Okay, all right. Okay, sure. Yes, that is not incorrect, yet it's not the answer I was looking for. De verdad. Something that shows they are belonging to people. Yes, El Cid, yeah, you got it. You got it, exactly. They have collars around their neck. Good job. Khayli Khub. Good job. I don't know, you mentioned you're from the south of Iran, so afarin, bache. Well done. So perhaps in cities and little towns, dogs would run freely to the hut's content. However, in royal circles and ambiances, they always appear with their characteristic collar. Scholars believe these collars These necklaces could have been made of leather, even rope, but unfortunately, we have preserved none of them. So this is something we can only speculate about, but interestingly enough, this is something we can only know from artistic representations. See, I'm really sorry, you would allow me a little bit of a defense towards my discipline, which is art history. If we did not preserve these artistic examples, we would have not a way of knowing that the dogs were given collars. Sure, we could speculate a little bit about that, given how other people behave with their dogs through history. Yet, this confirms it. This is the evidence sometimes we need, before the lack of any other archaeological evidence. So shout out to art history because it's just on top. All right, now we move. So yeah, to wrap this thing up, I know that I've said that dogs could not be considered as pets, but maybe, Shoyad, perhaps, now that you're seeing this, you can tell me, but Plumas, I am seeing all these things. I'm listening to what you're saying, and it sounds pretty much like a pet to me. Yeah, I feel you. Cheers to you. Cheers to art history. Yes. I feel you and I understand. That's the reason I still kept the title of the stream as it is, as like a question whether pets in Mesopotamia. However, we do not count on literary evidence, on textual evidence that actually gives us like a more insightful look at the consideration of animals. For example, this woman, Andrea Vilela, she wrote her PhD dissertation about dogs in Assyrian texts, and believe me, she's the one to ask for these questions, for these matters. And her conclusion was that even though dogs perform a similar role to nowadays consideration of a pet, partially, it's really risky to project our feelings, even my own feelings, towards my own pet. I want to know, do you have dogs? Do you have cats? Do you have something? Oh, so you say, all right, so about cats in Mesopotamia. I don't know much, to be honest. Like, they were, oh, I know you have a dog and she's adorable and I love her. And I love every single dog on planet Earth. Who am I kidding? So all of them are good boys and good girls, and we do not deserve them. You have a crow? That is literally the coolest thing I've ever heard. As in a crow? Wait, Baisa. I need to check something. Wait, بچه. شما کلاغ داشتید؟ For real? I'm really sorry. I just need to know this. بله دیگه. کلاغ داشتید. All right. You actually had a crow as a pet. That is just, thank you for existing. I just like, wow. Her name was Shiva. I love it. I'm a big fan, and I'm not being funny about this. I am actually a big fan. Oh my god, my bacha are amazing. My bacha are just amazing. It's just, Okay. All right. I need to carry on. What was I talking about? Oh, cats. Yeah, cats. I don't know much. I'm sorry. They were there for sure. They were. And I am convinced that they might have been considered companions by many, yet they do not have the presence in literature and mythology that dogs enjoy. So I am sorry, cat people. This is nothing against you, just I literally could find little to nothing about cats. You interpret it? Chimigi? Like, you interpret, you mean that you taught the bird? I'm really sorry, I have like a million questions now about the crow that was named Sheba. I bet she was intelligent. Crows are so smart. They are so smart. Oh God. So yeah, now, all right, moving along. I promise I am moving on to the next animal. So yeah, she really could play hide and seek. Are you kidding? Oh my goodness. Boran? Oh God, I have to. God. Oh, I would love to play hide and seek. I would love to play hide and seek with a tiny little. I am dying of adorableness. So yeah, we move to the next one, which is horses. Why? Horses are not pets. I know. The only reason I am including horses is, well, I can. I really like horses, and as I mentioned before, this is my stream, this is my channel, and I can include whatever the Frank Sinatra I want. And actually, horses serve me as a bridge connecting the next point, because horses provided something very juicy to the owners, and this is status. Okay, let's just say that horses, as horses themselves, were not super popular, and they took time to ride. Horse riding was not that popular into the second millennium before Common Era, and chariots were, chariots rode by other equidae. However, they were popular. I'm not talking about horses, but other equine figures. Those horses look decidedly practical. They're definitely, yeah. They are, absolutely. And yeah, as I mentioned, 2 or 4 wheeled chariots were more popular than horse riding during the 3rd millennium before Common Era. And then from the 1st millennium before Common Era again, the animals started to be ridden. And not before, sorry. I had a chariot. Can I show it to you? Because some of the pictures, apparently some of the pictures I wanted to show you, they cannot be shown. No, I can show you this one. Apparently the format doesn't, like, Twitch does not accept this format. But yeah, I can show you this. This is a harness, and this belonged once to a very powerful owner. This actually comes from Iran. This is not from Mesopotamia itself. This comes from Lorestan, which is an area in. I'm gonna look it at the map because I always mix up north and south. You know this because dyslexia. The words north and south mean nothing, little to nothing to me, and could just. West of Iran. Thank you, Alcid. So you see, this belongs to the west of Iran, and there's so many of this. If you type actually Lorestan bronze, you're gonna be mind blown, because we have so many examples of artistic pieces of Lorestan made in bronze, many of them belonging to horse trappings and horse harnesses, and that indicates 2 things: one, the popularity of the breed and the kept of these animals, and second, how the dexterity. I can't speak today. I have a feeling I say that in absolutely every single stream. So the dexterity of the masters and the crafters that made those. So horses in Mesopotamia, they would develop a long tradition of breeding, crossbreeding, mixture, and commercializing. They were considered a luxurious goods, and in Assyrian times specifically, this is when we have more evidence of horse riders, and they can be seen adorned with exquisite, lavish trappings and harnesses. Let me just show you the chariot again. Oh, thank you. It could be a Scythian motive. Thank you for the soup. You've been subscribed for 5 months to this channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate the effort. So if you actually look at these reliefs, you can see how the horses are adorned to the point of ridiculousness, in the sense that they have everything's put on them because they want them to look as luxurious as they themselves were considered. These ones in particular, they are horses. However, it was common to ride and to use for practical reasons also onagas, for example. Those are from the family. And we also have servants parading with horses as well. And this is something that I also want. I'm going to try and show you because I didn't. Maybe I can show them to you. But all right, let me show you this one first. But this is not the one I'm looking for. There's an image of some servants with some horses. This is not exactly the one I'm looking for. And there's a plague. Baba, this is from Persepolis. This is not Assyrian. I'm trying to look for an image in particular, but I am afraid I won't be able to find it yet. I can show you something similar. And why are you here? Oh, this one is all right. They have a watermark, but bear with. This is the best I can do. This is from the Palace of Sargon II at Khorsabad, and let me just pop them in here really quickly. Here we have number 1 and here we have number 2. You cannot see them yet, but you will, don't worry. So what I was trying to say is that what you can see in the depictions of art, and again, shout out to my lovely art historians out there because this is for you, is the difference between species. I can't seem to find the one I'm looking for, and I'm really sorry, but this is what I was talking about when I referred about the ornaments they placed on horses. Do they really use 3 horses to a chariot? 3 and 2 and 4, yeah. Depends on the time, on the purposes of the chariot. The size of the chariot also matters as well. Yeah, 3, 2, 4, yeah. You could use 1 as well. So this, I want you to look at this image and just admire how lavishly decorated these horses' headpieces are. If you look at what they're wearing on the front of the foreheads, this is actually their own mane, which is waved and it's made plaits. And these belong to the palace of Ashurbanipal in Nineveh, and they are amazing to contemplate. Currently kept at the British Museum, so if you happen to be around, I do recommend you to go and spend a solid amount of minutes admiring the detail of these carvings, because these reliefs are incredible. Like, artistically speaking, they're impressive. So this on the one hand. Then I mentioned that we have servants and we have well, where did I put them? There's so many images in here. We have it here. And this one, for some reason, doesn't want to show. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I know they're incredible, aren't they? I really like them. This is the one with a watermark. Bear with, okay? So this one is a servant carrying around the horses. This is not exactly the one I wanted to show you, but it's the closest we are going to get today. Basically, these ones, you can actually see the difference between species. These are horses, but there's shorter ones that are onagas, and there's a little bit like slightly taller horses that indicate they came from a different place in the ancient Near East. Maybe they came from the Iranian plateau, maybe from Central Asia as well, although they are a little bit like, shorter and sturdier. those horses look wealthier than the servant. Well, actually they are. The horses, they do not know, but they are wealthier than the servant. So it's really interesting because, again, we can't say from Bactria. Yeah, they could be from Bactria. They could be from Sogdiana and all this part, because like before in Holy Prayer I mentioned that the harness I showed could be a Sicilian motif, and yeah, the Sicilians had a long, very well. The Sicilians is actually, it's like saying, you know what, saying the Sicilians is like saying Mesopotamia. It's actually englobing a very much nuanced field, yet we keep on saying the Sicilian. The Sicilians are the Saka, which are just a bunch of different tribes, and I am very willing to do a live stream on them. Would you be interested in a stream about the Saka tribes? Let me know. But yeah, one of the things that we know for sure about them is their long established tradition on horse riding and horse keeping and horses in general. So yeah, the motives, they follow and flow and translate into other ways of art, and possibly the Loristan bronze have inherited something from the saga. Yeah, both Sicilian and Persian cultures mixed so many times. Yeah, it's better to say Iranian cultures though. Persian is not correct, I'm afraid. It's at that period of time, the Parsa, which are the ones who are going to give the name Persia, they were not that relevant. I'm really sorry, but that's the truth. The Parsa is just one of many different tribes. So when you're talking about a period of time, it's much better to say Iranic or Iranian. So yeah, be precise. And horses, Iranian includes all better. It's actually much more accurate, and in fact, I like Iranic. Sicilians were also Iranic, right? Not quite. Some of them, those that moved towards the west, had much, I guess, more close relationship with Iranic tribes. However, the Sicilians also have a lot of heritage from Central Asia, from northern areas of Asia. So Iranic sounds ironic. And they are. Iranians are quite ironic, believe me. I lived among them. I know, I have experienced their ways. So yeah, horses basically were a symbol of status of the owner. And as happened with the dogs and other animals we're going to talk about in a minute, they would be paraded in front of envoys, in front of ambassadors, and they would just be shown and displayed in front of other people to determine the importance of the king, and as a symbolic way of explaining in just one image his wealth and his power. So Pabashid, I'm sorry. So with the status thing mentioned, let's move on to the next pet, if they can be called so. Let me do now, I really don't know. Well, but the next one is, actually I think you're gonna like this one. The next pet are wild beasts, and particularly lions and lionesses. Oh yes, the big cats. I lied before when I said that I had no cats. I bring you the big cats. These are here in this live stream exactly for the same reasons as horses, because I like them mostly, but I wanted to give you a varied perspective on different approaches towards animals, and ultimately because they provided status. If you are familiar with the royal lion hunt in Assyria, you know already the relevant position large felines occupied and held in Mesopotamia. If you have not watched that video, you can go find it. You know that now I'm re-uploading my live streams on YouTube, so you can go find it. If you type Plumas de Simur Assyrian Royal Hunt, it would pop up. So yeah, you can go check it out. It's just a single video where I speak about the lion hunt, the royal lion hunt in Assyria. So, to make the long story short, however, lions represent status, and not only lions, wolves, leopards, camels, exotic giraffes, ostrich, and what was that, Clarita? There's a lion in Nineveh, which has wounds from arrows. I fell in love with it when I studied it last year. Yeah, she's the wounded lioness. She is incredible. Please, if you go to the British Museum and you have time to spare, dedicate 10 minutes to just admire the lions and these reliefs, because the anatomical work, the expression on their faces. Thank you so much, Nine June. I see them. And the expression, the emotion they have within their bodies and body expression, the corporal expression, it's mind-blowing. It's definitely one of my favorite pieces in art, that those walls, particularly the lions. But yeah, lions were exhibited in private zoos that existed inside palaces alongside other animals and exotic plants from all the corners of the empire. They were a symbol of luxury and power, and how the strength of a king could subdue the most powerful and terrible of beasts in the world, which was the lion. The royal hunt has a lot of symbolism to it. I mentioned the zoos, the private zoos. They were a thing, actually. Inside the Assyrian palaces, we can see structures, and we have studied the represented structure. Like this one you see in here, this one is a real garden. And you can see here. Yes, here we have a lion, and then we have a musician. Two musicians, actually, I can see. And then we have some palm trees and some vine trees, because within those spaces, animals, plants, and people were preserved. So you can have a better idea of what the private zoo represented. They were miniaturized representations of the empire, in the sense that the zoo was symbolizing the territories the monarch occupied and governed all over. Did they have any practical use for lions? Hunting them down. Yeah, that's the only practical thing I can come up with. Maybe it's not practical. It is, believe me. The lions were kept in order to be hunted. That's the reason. And well, do you know this awful documentary Tiger King? There's a lot of people that believe that a tiger, a panther, a snow leopard, and all that jazz are indeed pets, and they have them as such. So, for example, this is a little bit outside my area of expertise, but in Iran, they hunted with dogs, but they also use leopards and lions to hunt. So, of course, they could be trained to do something like that. A fairy animal, the they whistle? I don't know that one. Which is that one? Let's Google that one. Nothing comes up. If this is a pun with some kind of word and I'm falling for it, you are entitled to laugh about me. Oh my god, that's a really scary face. Apparently, The Whistle is a short horror film. Oh my god, that is terrifying. That is upsetting. A mistranslation, maybe. What's the name of the animal you're looking for? You can type it in Spanish. Because I can't really not. But whistle is silbar. Like they draw, you would be cooling. I think we got lost in translation here, but between Spanish, English, and that it's a pun. So basically, there's this common say in Google Translator gave me that translation, but whistle is silbar. That's really weird. Basically, in Spanish, we say the lion is not as fierce as he is depicted by others. So yeah, so something to explain that you can defeat the looks of someone, that you should not be tricked by the appearance of someone. So, and not be daunted by the situation, because yeah, The lion's never as scary as they depict him. Where was I? Oh yeah, lions. So yeah, the private zoos were basically a miniaturized version of the empire the monarch governed upon, and the Assyrian kings, they actually took that to the next level. And this is something very interesting, and I have to dedicate a whole live stream to these. The garden was filled with animals, but also with plants, and plants from the four corners of the empire will be brought to that very core of the Assyrian Empire to fill the zoo, which is something I believe fantastical. Just amazing. Yes, we've seen the big cats, we've seen the big doggos. I love doggos so much, and I have left a section just to feeding lions sounds like sure way to eat your finances into ruin. But those people, they were wealthy. Oh my goodness, they had to spare. Believe me, they did. So, to conclude this live stream, we have a section I like to call Other, because I didn't have a better way of saying it. And what kind of animals do you think I englobed in this category? Unfortunately, there's only 2 types of animals, but yeah, just quite fun. Actually, do you know what? Crows. Oh, if only I see them. I don't think crows were kept as pets in Mesopotamia yet. We have monkeys. Can you see the monkeys? I love monkeys. Oh my god. Our history is just wonderful. Art history is just wonderful. You have monkeys? Yes, monkeys were kept as pets. Or as gifts of, these ones were kept mostly because of the exotic punch to it, and because they were funny, and because they were strange to have as a kind of quirky animal. Yeah, like a quirky property you own and you show off in parties to your friends. No, I need to pet a monkey, if only I see them. So the primates were they were common to have, and they appear depicted also in terracottas from old Babylonian time, like around the 1800s before Common Era, and this kind of macaque would have been kept as a pet. And they also appear in small clay figurines, and my priestess has the point. She's right, it will be very dangerous. Hello there, how are you? When did monkeys as pets fall out of fashion? You know what? I actually don't know, because the Persian kings had monkeys as pets, the Mughal Indians had monkeys as pets. I have no idea what was happening in the rest of the world, but I can swear the Chinese had them as well at some point. The African kingdoms also had monkeys as pets at some point in time. I don't know. I think when we realize these animals have the right to live free. One of my friends has a monkey as a pet. Oh, there you go. Monkeys are the worst pet in the world. I actually don't know. Even Tom Cruise has a monkey. That's actually right. Yes, he does. Huh. Oh, premonitory. And by the time the Cassid period, and especially during the Neo-Assyrian Kingdom, which is like around, it starts these like between the 9th and the 7th and the 8th. Ross in France has a monkey. Marcel. Yes, he does. Marcel. He's such a cute beanie. And probably they were brought to the Mesopotamian era from Egypt. And you see, the Egyptians had pets. I knew it. They were in close ties with the Cassid kings and Egypt during the Amarna period, with Akhenaten's reign. And also the south of Arabia, the kingdom of Saba, which is nowadays modern Yemen, also supplied of primates, especially baboons. They had baboons as pets, which is a choice I cannot understand because they are very territorial. I don't want to say they're violent, because they're not. They just frankly I won't wonder if Egyptian had beetles as pets. I don't know, I'm not an expert. But yeah, for sure, why not? So baboons are not violent. They're just very territorial, they are very familiar, and they don't like people approaching them. Then why on earth would you think it's a good idea to have a pet that's a baboon? So you can call it Rafiki, I am guessing. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, monkeys were a thing, and we have depictions of these monkeys. Most probably they were taught tricks, and they were used again. This is the exotic note. This is the exotic punch on the cocktail of your party. You have this because it's quirky and odd, and you parade it in front of your friends because you want to play a little bit of a jester, and you want to spice up the conversation in a party and have your friends leave with something to talk about for the next 3 weeks. Because yes, you have not one, but 2 or 3 monkeys, and they play around and they bring you stuff. As I am going, I see how ridiculous this is. Anyway, so yeah. Monkeys. And finally, the final category is birds. Did you really think I was gonna leave? Do you really think I was gonna leave without this? No. Birds, particularly exotic birds, were also kept in the palace. I resist to call this a pet. Actually, I can't, because in Mesopotamia we've concluded at the start of the stream, we concluded that there was not such a thing as pets in Mesopotamia. Bear with to walk alongside the way with me a little bit longer. So basically, these birds would be in the same place lions and lionesses would, inside the private zoos. And the weirder and the more exotica, the better. This is an ibis, and the ibis was brought from Egypt. You know, in Egypt, it was a sacred creature. Apparently not as much in Mesopotamia because they were kept in zoos, and they were very popular to have. They also had flamingos. They also had... No, I'm not seeing Mesopotamian people as interested in birds of prey, for example. But, they had, what did I say? I said ibis, I said flamingos, I said, of course, there's a special animal. They also had pelicans. They had pelicans running around the private zoos, and they put little collars on them. They had pelicans. Why on earth would you have a pelican as a pet? I adore them because they absolutely my favorite animal in this planet. They are. And if you are from a Spanish audience, you know why. But they do not make sense as a pet, as they do not make sense as a bird. Thank you, Clarita. That is the sweetest thing. Had pelicans, and we have our mom pelican. Yes, I am your pelican mom, and will always be. And so I really don't know, why would you want one of these as a pet? I wouldn't, and I love them, but I don't make exactly. They don't make sense as a real animal. There's just no way of understanding how this is not extinct. And I'm not saying this just out of it. I lived in places where pelicans are common, and I've been around them. I cannot say I've studied them. I don't have a PhD on them, but I've seen them on a daily basis behave and exist. And it doesn't make sense to me. I cannot really fathom why they have not become extinct. And I love them, but I don't understand how they are species. Excuse me? You fought a pelican once? Can you tell the story for all of us? Or is this private? I really need to know that one. I think even elephants in Persian Empire armies had the same role to play show. To might have something, then definitely, yeah. Who won? Yeah, the pelican. Of course the pelican won. Can you... No. Uloko, go ahead. Please. Can you share this story with all of us? I really need to know this. No, clearly he survived. He's here now, but I just need to know the nuances to this, like details. How did this happen? How did this come to be? I snuck up behind one when I was little. Why? Why would you do that? But its wingspan was quite larger than I expected. Why would you do that? What did you aim to accomplish? If I can ask. Why? What was it that you aimed to achieve? I have so many questions. It looked new and interesting. You know why, you have a point. Okay, so I think the main conclusion for this is do not hug pelicans and do not try to surprise them. So now, I don't have any more questions. I mean, I do have a ton of questions, but we're going to save them. So in conclusion, do we have such a thing as pets in Mesopotamia? If we attend to the sources, then no. And we cannot, as we were saying at the beginning of the stream, we cannot project the feelings we have towards animals nowadays in the past. And of course, they were links and bonds between people and animals, but mainly they were used for practical reasons. And well, some of them had mythological relevance. Yet it would be incorrect to talk as a pet in the Mesopotamian world because there's no evidence to prove it. That there were animals and they had the utmost importance, they of course did. Their relationship was not understood as currently we do, but yet animals played a major role in Mesopotamians' daily life. And we have left outside ibexes, cows, goats, and a myriad of other animals. We can speak of those in a coming stream. But yeah, this is it for today. Oh my god, we did it, Bacha! The curse has been broken. We did it. We did it. Oh my god, I can't believe we did it. I'm so happy right now. I'm just like, yeah. Oh, that back. Thank you, Name June. Stretch for a little bit. Stretch. We did it. We killed the white whale. And I am so proud of myself for this, I have to say this. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. I really hoped you enjoyed it. Whale killed. Are baba. Whale is killed. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you just for staying with me. I hope you've learned a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was fantastic, and thank you. And I don't know if you have any further question. I would try to answer them as best I can, but I am not an expert on the subject. But yet, if you have any questions, I can venture myself in answering them. If your question is where can I find a pet monkey, I cannot help you, unfortunately. You are the one we have to thank. Azizam, Khili Mamnoon, thank you so much for that. You are very sweet. And that message from Street Labs comes just in time. I've got one. In the chat, it's been said that elephants are not good for battle. Why? Been say that? I haven't seen it. I guess it really depends on how you train the elephant and what kind of approach do you use. They were really important for the Punic Wars, and also it really depends on the situation, on the geography of the territory, of the approach you take to the elephant, because they were used. Exactly. They, as Ulok was saying, they disrupt enemy formations, and they're easier to train than others. And but yeah, they can get loose quite easily as well. So sometimes it's like it fires back if you're not careful enough. But I don't know as much about elephants. I know they were highly present in Iranian armies, also in Mughal armies, in Indian armies, apparently in North African armies as well, as you mentioned in the Punic Wars. And they could easily lose control and cause the opposite effect. It really depends on the moment, I would say. And the dialogue. Yeah, I think I hear what you say, El Cid. Yet they are good war material, unfortunately, because that's awful to say. There's nothing on earth is good war material, if that's a personal point of view. But you can actually see the reasons behind them using elephants, because they are easier to train and they cause so much damage to the enemy lines. But that's as much as I can say. That's as much as I can say. You're welcome, dear. I'm really sorry I could not provide a better answer, but yeah, I had to try though. In a famous Qadisiyah war, it said the elephants did cause damage to Iranian side uncontrollably. No, yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens, yeah, but I personally would not just assume they're not good for war just because accidents happened. I mean, if a horse, you see, the thing is the size. It is all a matter of size and perspective, because if a horse gets scared and gets loose, can cause severe damage to a person, but the impact is not the same because the horse is not 4 to 5 meters tall and doesn't weigh like 80 tons or something. So you see, all animals could get loose at in the minute. So yeah, a horse is also very dangerous when they are scared, and that I can tell you because I have experience. I'm not an expert, of course, but I've been around horses for a while, and I horse ride and stuff, so I know how much damage a scared horse can generate. It's just a matter of impact, because if the horse and the elephant do the same thing, of course they don't cause the same damage. So yeah, but it's been my greatest pleasure being here, delivering something that I promised to deliver so long ago, but we've done it, and I am very happy. Sacerdotis, I really hope you liked it, and I really hope to see you on Wednesday, because on Wednesday this is going to be repeated in Spanish. So I really thank you all for being here. I hope you learned something new today, something you did not know before coming to the stream. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel. You help me greatly. If you do not want to miss this next stream, I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going there in a minute. If you do not want to miss another stream, you can follow this channel and it will just send you a notification the next time I go live. And yes, you're amazing. You, Azizam, you're amazing. And so thing is that I don't know if there's many Iranians watching me at the minute, but tomorrow is Shobe Yalda. So Shobe Yalda Mubarak to all of you. We will be celebrating on Twitch, and I will be live again, and I will be explaining to you what Shobe Yalda is, because it's my favorite night of the year and I really want to get it closer to a lot of people. یالدای شما هم مبارک. مرسی خیلی ممنون عزیزم. And although the stream will be in Spanish, so sorry about that. I don't know yet to what extent my English speaking audience would be interested in something like that. But we can talk about that some other time. Or if you support me on Patreon, you can choose for the next topics to come. Thank you to my patrons, especially those of Tier Murshid and Ashdod. And just thank you to everyone for coming to the stream. It's been my greatest pleasure. Once again, I am Plumas, and I will be delighted to see you next. I remember last year's live on that feast. That means it's been a year since I know this channel. I don't think so, Clara. I think you're talking about Nowruz, because I didn't celebrate Yalda last year. I wasn't able to. I wanted to, but my circumstances did not allow it. This is the first time we're going to talk about Yalda, and I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah, but Nowruz is a new year. That happens in March. So, see you Farda. Farda mi binamet. So yeah, thank you so much, Bacha. And for now, guys, oh yes, I won't be doing more live streams in English because as from Thursday, I start my winter retreat, my winter break. I will be back in January, early January, I don't know. Just keep an eye on social media to find out. And if in the meantime you want to reach me, you have my social accounts and you have an email and you have many ways of finding me should you wish to contact me. So thank you, Sacerdotisa. You left us in the cliffhanger in the show on me. Oh my god, I did. It doesn't matter. You can wait a little bit more. Oh, a question. Would you want to talk about Simorg? As this time, I've talked about Simorg so many times, like so many. I have a video about Iranian mythology where I talk about her. I have a video when I'm reading. I am actually reading the Book of Kings out loud, and I talked about her when she appears in the Shahnameh. We are currently, we've passed the birth of Rostam. And yeah, you want to check, everything's on YouTube, everything's around, and I don't know, somewhere. Everything's somewhere. Thank you so much, Bacha, for your support. It's been great and lovely seeing you again. The white whale is killed. Sacerdotisa, this one is especially and uniquely for you. And as I tell you each time, go about and create, explore, and have tons of fun. Until the next time we see each other, I say to you, Khudafiz!